99.3 Nigeria Info. Good morning to you, Lagos. Welcome to the second part of Dailies today here on Nigeria Info. I'm Sheriff Quadry.
I'm Jimi Disu. Good morning.
Yes, this show is being streamed live on Facebook and on YouTube. To join us there, just search for Nigeria Info 99.3 on the two platforms. Nigeria Info 99.3, and you'll be able to join us. Share the live stream link with your communities on social media and let them also join the conversation. Let's start with the Punch newspaper this morning. Page 7, that's where we're starting from. Page 7 of the Punch. FCT police advise NLC against anti-Wike protest.
Okay, but before that, I'd like to call the attention of the military authorities to a story that is in Sahara Reporters. We don't normally take our stories from there, but I want to make a quick reference to it. And it talks about some Lagos car dealer that is using soldiers as escorts, and it comes with video evidence. I hope they will quickly go and put a stop to this as much as they can. You know, there's a general ban by the police IG, which seems to have been fairly effective, to talk, saying that policemen should no longer be used as private escort. Apparently, some people with some influence in the military have been doing so. In fact, minus the police officers, when I've always been against having military men as escort. I mean, we shouldn't debase our military up to that level. They run around carrying briefcases and things like that, except of course for the officers. Well, let's get down to this story. The story is not so much about the FCT advising the NLC against anti-Wike protests, which they said should be coming on today. The police are citing security concerns. I think that it's time the president did something about Nyesom Wike. I make very bold to say that with a sense of respect. I think he has overdone it, and is going to create a big embarrassment for the president and for this government unless he's reign to order. And I'm not so much talking about this altercation between him and the Labour people. He is quoted on video. He was denied the use of the stadium, given an alternative venue. And whether the government's excuse is right or wrong, they said, look, the stadium is undergoing renovation. Could you use this place for some pro-APC? Of course, we know it's to feather his own nest, but he did it under the auspices of ramming up support for the president. And it's quoted as saying that next time they want to use the stadium and it's not allocated to them, they will break in. Minister of the Federal Republic, what's going on? What's going on? That next time the stadium is allocated to them and they're not allowed to use it, they'll break into the place. Come on. I think that, to be honest with you, that gentleman has insulted not just us as people, but has insulted the president. You see, because it's like he's daring the president to do the worst. And much as I have my feelings about the president, he's my president. I don't want him insulted anyhow. I don't want him to look like the limbless dog. That's because Wike is he's undermining him. He's undermining his authority by saying and doing these things. The other day he was asked, "Oh, you drive a road," he said, "And so what?" Hey, come on. I think that the president is high time. Does the president talk to him? Does he ever have a discussion with him about his conduct? Is he too big for the president to talk to? Does he have something with which to blackmail the president? These are the questions that go through your mind when you see some of the things that this gentleman does. The federal capital is in turmoil. The president doesn't need that kind of thing as we speak. And what is more disturbing is that INEC is seeing campaigning going on without given authority for the race to start and have said nothing. The chairman of INEC, I think, has started his job on a very bad and sour note. Anyway, it says that today the NLC and the TUC are going to protest, and it is called an anti-Wiki protest. That's what it's called in the Punch here. What I expect to happen today or tomorrow is the same kind of response to get to these things. There will now be some people who will come up with a pro-Wiki protest. Is that how we are going to run our country? Are those the problems that we have right now? So I think that Wiki's NAFTAC number will soon expire. I've said it before, will soon expire. And if the president, I'd like him to backdate it and do something decisive about this gentleman.
Indeed. Let's go take our next story on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. Sit at home. IPOB order flops. Soludo marks 10,000 shops for demolition.
I got a bit confused because the Punch says one thing, and I think the Nigerian Telegraph said another. But all said and done, I think it's an ongoing drama. At some point, one will give in to the other. But I think Soludo should be a bit careful and think things out properly before he carries out some of his actions. Because this one that talks about 10,000 shops. Do you have 10,000 shops in the state capital as we speak?
Which state capital?
Any state capital. 10,000 shops.
In a single place?
In a single place.
Oh, no, I don't think so. Maybe in different areas. That's
even collectively, 10,000
oh, yes,
shops
of course.
is
Yes,
a lot of shops.
we're going to have more than that, actually.
You think so?
Oh, massively. We're going to have more. Even in Lagos, as small as Lagos is.
Remember, we're not talking of shopu. We're not talking of shops in the houses. We're talking of shops in complexes and markets.
We're going to have more than that.
10,000 shops.
I'm almost certain, yes.
As the commissioner is coming today, I just asked him off the cuff. He scratched his head and said he'll get back to me. But I think it's and I'd like to talk to my Igbo brothers and that locking up your shops on Monday to show solidarity. Well, if it's a sacrifice you want to make, fine. But I think the Igbos themselves are the worst hit. Yes, because even when you in other places they are running shops 7 days a week and they're still groaning, under harsh economics. So I wonder for how long you want to continue to do that.
Indeed. Now let's go to our next paper. Yep, the Metro page.
Okay,
of
the
Punch.
Metro page. We're doing that today because there's some interesting little stories here. Nursing mother, she's 65 million for kidney transplant. She's a 32-year-old nursing mother on Malara Olushoga and has appealed for 65 million to undergo a kidney transplant. And the senior medical officer at Alimosho General Hospital, Dr. Adeyo AB, confirmed that both kidneys of the teacher and fashion designer had failed. So they have some kind of endorsement from the hospital where it's going to be carried out. And this apparently came from her blood pressure, which she didn't put under control, and has now resulted in her needing new kidneys. There's also a story here about Henry Ireneke, and his son Matthias was reportedly drowned in a swimming pool at Signatures Hotel in the Ajawo Estate area of Lagos. May his soul rest in peace. What other stories? There's this story here. Crackdown. United States set to deport 79 Nigerians on criminal list. If you have my number, you go to my status. The list is there with their photographs of the 79 Nigerians who are going to be deported from the United States. And their names are listed here. Most of them for fraudulent practices, and so on and so forth. Which other story did I find here? Yes, 10 million planned for Makoko regeneration. The Lagos State government has said about $10 million has been planned for the regeneration of Makoko, a waterfront community in Lagos. The special advisor to the governor on EGIS made this known while briefing the press in Ikeja. Well, luckily this morning at 9 o'clock we have the commissioner for information, so he'll probably be able to give us more. But I'm asking myself, what was this regeneration discussed with the current occupants, and what is the guarantee that they will be the direct beneficiaries of this so-called regeneration exercise? Usually what happens, even with the markets, is that they drive the people away and bring the elites in. After the generation, will those current occupants be able to afford the cost of land and building and whatever in those areas? But the commissioner should show more light on this when it does come today. And then there's also a story here that talks about government sensitizing residents to traffic and environmental laws. I consider this a wasteful exercise. I'm joking about that. What I mean, I'm being sarcastic. What the government needs to, there's some of environmental laws are common sense things. You don't need to be sensitized about them. What the government needs is to make examples of our residents. Do you need to be sensitized about not throwing waste on the streets or your environment? Do you need to be sensitized about noise pollution? I think a lot of that has gone down. What the government needs is to make examples, very good examples of some of these people, and very good examples of the officials internally who are complicit in all this. I've had reason to work with the Ministry of Environment, and if I hadn't gone from the top, only God knows what would have happened. And it almost became a war. That particular exercise, somebody was doing a block industry on the main road, on the side curb, complicit with the, what do they call these people, CDA chairman, and it's a mess. And they knew this person I'm talking about was a retired top government official. So it's not about sensitizing people about traffic. The same applies to traffic. It's asserting your authority. That's the name of the game. It's asserting your authority, making good examples of things. That's the only thing that people will understand. Okay, and also there's another one here. Lagos State Building Control Agencies has reiterated its commitment to enforcing building regulations. The same thing applies. As far as this one is concerned, the governor should target his civil servants internally who are complicit in all this. Because they are the ones, generally, who would go up to these people and say, we can arrange for you to do this and do this and do this and do that. When you make an example of a few people, everybody, I think, will know what would be the accepted line. So we can go on to the next one.
We're streaming live on Facebook. We're also live on YouTube this morning. So I have a couple messages here. Let me just take one or two. Mary says on YouTube, is the restoration of Makoko for the people or for prime real estate? It's a good question, Mary. Thank you. Funday or something says Soludo is only pandering to his paymasters in Sokoto. He would be gravely disappointed. Peter Obi is our man, and we're fully behind him. Thank you for that as well.
I thought the stay at home was for Kano.
Yeah.
Why would bring Peter Obi into it? No?
I have no idea.
Peter Obi is making a declaration later in the day.
Yes, he is.
I'll discuss that.
Let's go to page 24 of the Punch newspaper. Prayers won't fix Nigeria's healthcare challenges. Party.
And prayer won't fix very many things that we do. I'm glad that this is coming from the Minister of Health. And he says that Nigeria's healthcare challenges, and indeed a lot of our challenges, cannot be solved through prayers. I was amazed one day when one pastor said on television that if you have a wife who cannot pray for 6 hours at his church, go and look for another woman.
Okay.
Nigerians' idea about prayers It's slightly different.
Why would anybody say that to start with?
Yes, so if you can have a wife, a woman who can pray for 6 hours, don't marry her. Life is not about prayer. Life is you need prayer to assist you. A little prayer to assist you, show you direction, and then you go ahead with the will. We have turned this idea of prayers upside down. 3 days of prayers, 60-day prayer for the nation, and you keep doing the wrong thing. Exactly. You know, we need to have a rethink. And one is not saying that prayers don't work. Prayers are just to assist you, to stabilize you. God has shown you direction of a lot of things. God has shown direction a lot. It's not going to come down to do whatever it is for you. Election time is here now. Some of our Nigerians will be voting for people they can't even employ as their house help. But you find the top elite, they know that they're doing the wrong thing. So this idea of 60-day prayer, 90-day prayer and fasting, as far as I'm concerned, is an exercise in futility if you don't do what God has told you is the right thing. The problem with a lot of us is the will. We know what is right. But we want to give God a contract to do the job for us when He has shown you the way. So I'm glad this is coming from Professor Ali Pate. It also shows that why I'm happy about this is that the man has a right mindset. So he too knows that the prayer is not prayers, it's practicality. And he spoke in a Transnational Research Boot Camp conference where he warned that faith without scientific discipline would not deliver meaningful reforms in the health sector, and indeed I should add in every facet of our life. So instead of me coming to do my job at 7 o'clock, I should be fasting and at home, waiting for a miracle. Is that how it works? Is that how it works? And he says, to unlock the healthcare value chain wherever it has been done, it has to be based on science. The same thing, if you are not well, find a way to the hospital. Don't just stay at home and pray for a miracle. And he says, you can't just pray your way through it. Just like you can't pray your way through a lot of things in life. You can't. Get up and go and get something done. You lost your job, you stay at home reading Bible from 8 to 5 p.m. Is that one of... you keep asking for, what is it called? Domestic? No, they call it...
Destiny helper.
Destiny helper. So arrant nonsense. Arrant nonsense. Asking... The thing that has crept into that is to ask for help. Help. What does it say? The proverb that all of us, you seem to have forgotten. Heaven helps those who help themselves.
Exactly.
What is enough for the wise? And I like what it says here. It says that science and scientific inquiry are fundamental to the advancement of human societies. The gains we have seen in reducing morbidity and mortality and improving quality of life all came through scientific inquiry and the scientific method. Again, a word is enough. Repeat that.
It's enough for the wise.
This is a wicked.
It's enough for the wise. A word is enough for the wise.
Every time I see him, I must pay homage to my late principal, Aladik Badamosi. I was fun when we were children, when we were in school. You can offer me straight. Heaven help you if you don't add line. What it is at that time was to make sure that you are listening and you are attentive. But my late uncle, Jimi Disu, of Edie's Bakery, once tasted, never wasted. You don't was King Moifuen. You must repeat whatever he tells you. King Moifuen. One day he just called me. He said, Abomi. He calls me by my father's name, Abomi. Oti domo buruku ginwe fun ah. Oti domo buruku ah. A bad boy. Keep away from it. I'm a bad boy. Sir. I saw you yesterday and leave the rest of the list. You can hear that. You can call Dailies this way. Give the rest of this.
So you are repeating was Dobrook.
You want to read? Yes, sir. It said, sir. And then he will say it sometimes in Yoruba and English.
Yeah.
Just to catch your attention. You're a bad boy. Keep away from it. So I saw you yesterday. I can't tell the rest of the story. You can come Dailies this way.
Interesting. All right, let's go to the Guardian newspaper, the New Telegraph rather, page 3 of the New Telegraph. Obi, I'll be running for president in 2027.
Just as we are going to chastise, just as we are going to criticize the president and the APC, for starting the campaign, I would have to do so likewise also with Mr. Peter Obi, where he has said categorically yesterday, the campaign has not started, but he has said yesterday that he's going to run for election. And he says, you see this election, support us in AMAC, it will help me. Your support in AMAC is critical to our journey, and I'm involved and contesting the incoming election as number 1. So there is no doubt. So what he's saying now, he didn't say number 2. He didn't say I might. He said I will be contesting the election as number 1. This story also delves into the controversy on whether Kwakwanso has agreed to join the coalition, and whether he will be, he would like to be deputy vice president to Peter Obi. So that is now, is Peter Obi going to run for one time? We don't know, but at least he has made his intention known now that he was going to run. Supporters of Atiku have also renewed calls for Obi and his followers to consider accepting in running mate role. That is, Atiku he would also like to contest. Let me make it clear. Everybody, every man to himself, and God for us all. In this coming election, I'm not voting for any old man. I'm not voting for any of my age mates. It's time you should kick us down the road, and we should be in advisory roles. Okay, it's time you should kick. That is my own personal. So let everybody declare where he stands. That I'm not going to vote for any old fuddy-duddy. I think we've had enough of that. Recent events even justify it. Nigeria needs a new. By the way, I heard we're owing NEPA. No, of course it's not NEPA in South Africa. Electricity bill and our lights were disconnected. Of the High Commission were disconnected in South Africa. But now we've paid. We need a new. There's no doubt about that. Nigeria needs a new thinking and needs a new consideration for leadership. It's time the young people, the same set of people have been there right from their 30s up till now. Abba, let's even think that out. That's not a matter of prayer. It's a matter of simple logic. In a country of so many millions, why should you stick to the same set of people? Why? And some people come to tell you that, because some young boys are doing yahoo, and the older ones are any better. What are we talking about?
Exactly.
So personally, let everybody declare your own. Personally, me, go to Twitter now and put down your own principle. I'm not going to vote for anybody above this age or above that age. Start from there. It's a good place to start from. I don't know about Sheriff. No, we no longer can tell him Sheriff. We now call him a Quadry. Okay, and Obi has dismissed suggestions that about him wanting to be a running mate to everybody. Anybody says it's going the whole hog.
Indeed. Let's take one more story. That will be a parting story this morning. Sleeping without pillows may lower eye pressure.
Oh, this is a very quick one. Eye pressure has to do with glaucoma. And unfortunately, we don't have a health page today, but this story cropped up. And it says, sleeping without pillows may help lower eye internal pressure, the buildup of which causes optic nerve damage and glaucoma. Okay. These are findings of a preliminary research published on the British Journal of Ophthalmology. So why don't you try sleeping without a pillow? Which I must admit is very, very difficult. I can't sleep without a pillow.
Yeah.
Because I have reflux.
Yeah.
I sleep without a pillow.
Okay. There's something
pillow.
What?
Pillow.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do.
Quadry sleeps with a pillow.
I do. I can't sleep without one. What are you thinking of now?
No, it's what you just said. Now.
I said I can't sleep without one.
I am processing it in my brain.
As in what way? In what direction?
No, my imagination is left to me.
Okay. We have to go. Kofi is back with the morning crossfire. Please stay with us.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.